I want to ask you something, Vic, because you've just started a new journey, we'll say.
Yeah.
And you actually I think you put out a YouTube video about this before, right? Going a little bit
I
deeper.
did later last week.
Okay.
I put out a video just kind of explaining what was going on.
So check out that video first. But while I'm here with you in person, you've started now the 75 hard challenge.
Yep.
We are on day 2, I believe.
Day 2, correct.
And have we still succeeded?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So basically, you got to work out twice a day. One of them has to be outdoors. Got to drink a gallon of water. I got my gallon right there. And I'm like, what is that? Like, I only have 30% left probably. Yeah. You got to read 10 pages of a book. I do that often. Got to stick to a diet. Actually, I just got the notification on my phone. Follow a diet from the 75 Hard
What
app.
diet? That's the thing. It's not really specific. You can follow really any diet.
Yeah, you can. My diet specifically is low carb, high protein. You can't have junk food. You can't have alcohol.
Yeah, because there's no cheat meals, it says.
No cheat meals.
Whatever that means to you.
So cheat meals for me is going to be like junk food. It's going to be fast food. And you know what? I'm the type of dude that I eat lunch and I want to go have like a Rice Krispie square or something, you know? But now I can't. Yeah. And then I got to take a progress photo every day as well. So it's 5 things you got to do. And it's been going well, man. It's been going well.
No, I think for a lot of people that it's a huge challenge. I think for both of us and you, obviously you, that it's not the biggest jump. I think we've talked about this. The biggest jump for you is just the time management of doing an hour and a half of your day reserved for working out. That's a pretty big jump.
And also I still meditate every day for about 20 minutes and I'm learning Italian and I'm doing that every day as well. Yeah. So now it's like my life is just strict time management. I got to be mapping everything out precisely. The one caveat to 75 Hard, if you don't know, is that if you mess up one thing, you have to start at day 1. It is extremely cutthroat. So
yeah, it seems like it's more of a mental challenge than anything. I think even the creator, I forgot his name, but the guy who made this challenge was talking about this is a mental toughness challenge more than anything.
And that's really what I need right now. Like, I don't really need a fitness challenge. I don't need a diet. Like, I have 12% body fat. I'm happy with the way I look. It's just I want this to operate on a much higher level because 2020 was a pretty tough year. And like we were saying on our accountability group, was it yesterday? That 2020 just lowered all the pressure. Like, it just took the pressure away from being a man or a person in society.
Yeah, right now for everyone, anyone can use the excuse of, oh, we had a pandemic, so I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And some of those excuses are valid to some degree, but all that pressure you had, either self-inflicted or from others, a lot of it got lifted because, again, everyone can use this excuse of, well, yeah, like I was going to do this business or I just started this or I was losing weight, but, you know, the pandemic hit, we locked down, it didn't work out. Mm-hmm. And I was saying to you and a bunch of other guys yesterday, I'm like, yo, we can't be using this anymore as an excuse. This is just part of the reality. We've got to keep going. Mm-hmm. I know it would be so easy for all of us to just be like, hey, we're went into another lockdown. It's time hey, what can I do? Yeah. But for you, hey, it's like this is the time to do 75 hard. You know,
I've just removed the thought of lockdown out of my mind. Like, to me, it's all the same now. I just feel like things are in my mind back to normal, even though they're not. Even though we still have to wear masks, we still have to, you know, follow these restrictions. But to me, I'm just completely done being a victim of whatever society has created. And that might be one of the biggest problems happening right now, is that people are victimizing themselves. And the thing that happens when you become a victim is you start blaming other people and the government or your employer or the pandemic or whatever. You're blaming and you're not taking responsibility for anything. And sure, there's definitely scenarios that might make sense, but at the end of the day, you control your actions, right? And it goes like this. Whatever you think about is going to create your feelings. Whatever you feel is going to create your actions, and then your actions are going to create your results. So I've tried to remove thinking about lockdown because I don't want that to affect my results.
Yeah, it's very stoicism philosophy, right? Mm-hmm. Which I think is very powerful. The idea of anything that I do not have direct control over, I'm not going to waste mental capital on that, right? It's because at the end of the day, it's like so many people, you worry so much about all these things that you literally have no control over, and it's affecting all the things you do have control over, all the actions you could take. So that's really Stoicism philosophy. It's like, you know what? Lockdown happened. There's nothing I can do about this, and there's no point. You just accept it, and then you move on with it.
Right, right. Another really interesting thing about me doing 75 hard right now is that it ends the day before I get married.
Yeah.
I didn't plan that. It's just literally going to line up. The day of my wedding, June 19th, is the day after I finish 75 hard if I can get it done.
Yeah,
for a shot.
that'd be a little rough if it was right in the middle because you can't take a day off. So you could do it still, but it would just be a little funny. But I think I bet that once you're done this, that even after, a lot of those habits are going to stay through, right? I think it's whack to have a goal like that and then, 75 days is over and then just go back to whatever.
Yeah,
right?
that's definitely not, like, I'm trying to do something that affects me and has a ripple effect for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And you got a bunch of other guys that are doing it with you too.
Yeah, I definitely tried to recruit because I know that the power of, a communal effort is going to be much stronger than just one person trying. So I got 3 other guys, other friends doing it. And then, you're doing similar things.
Yeah.
You're not specifically doing the 75 hard challenge, but I mean, you work out once, twice a day. You're reading.
Yeah.
You're drinking a ton of water. You do anything.
Yeah, it's about being self-aware too. Like this is something I've thought about doing for a long time, but I realized this moment I didn't feel like it was right because for me, moderation is something I'm trying to get better at. So the idea of being extremely strict about something, actually, I feel like is a little bit counterproductive for just me where I'm at right now. One other interesting thing that we talked about yesterday in our group, and I want to bring up again, is that making your goals public is so helpful in your journey because like right now you have just announced on a YouTube channel, on the podcast, to multiple people that you're doing 75 hard.
Right.
So if day 37 comes around and you mess up, it's a little bit embarrassing on your part because you've just announced to the world that this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And there's so many of us, we have goals, but we keep them to ourselves. But then that makes it real easy to be like, you know what? Like imagine if you did 75 hard, but you told no one. Like you didn't tell your fiance, you told no one. Well, on day 28, if you decided, you know what, I'm not going to finish that gallon of water today. Who's gonna, like, no one's gonna call it. No one knows, right? It's just you, and you might feel bad about it, but it's a lot different when the whole world is aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think it has to do too with like, I committed, right? I'm not doing it for anybody else. Like I'm doing it because the result that the creator of it, Andy Frisella, the creator, he said, this might be the most powerful thing you ever do in your life. It's going to change the way that you behave. It's going to change the way that you enter into complicated and difficult situations because you are going to have basically this shield of armor around your mind because you've had to endure these conditions. You've had to endure burnout and fight through it and just push yourself to the next level. And a lot of people are going to hear that and get scared. But if you want to win and if you want to dominate in whatever field you are trying to dominate in, then this is the way to get there. And sure, there's other ways to get there, but this is the way to get there. And when I heard that message, it was about me. It wasn't about like, oh, this is going to be sick when I'm done and I can post this photo on my IG. It was like, that literally never crossed my mind. Completely 100% me. And the only reason I made videos, the only reason I got other people on board with me, it wasn't because I'm like, okay, I want accountability from other people. It's more like I want other people to level up as well.
Yeah.
The people in my circle, I want them to be on the same level as me. So like if you want to join, join. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's interesting with that challenge how the majority of it relates to your physical health, right? But it shows that I was saying this to my trainer today. It's very rare that you see some ripped jack dude or girl and they're like super physically healthy, but then in other areas of their life, it's in shambles. I'm not saying there are people like that, but I'm saying the majority of the time, if you are a person who's really focused on your physical health and you have that correct, the odds are you're going to be able to handle all the other things in life as well with your business and relationships and so forth.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a correlation because you have to like train yourself to do things you don't want to do. And that self-discipline plays out in business. It plays out if you're in college, university. It plays out in a lot of different arenas of life, really. So, if you are feeling, and I've said this in the other video, if you're feeling like, damn, 2020 got the best of me, I was a level up, and now I definitely had a level down because the pressure got relieved off of me. Look into 75 Hard. I know it's scary, but I'm doing it. I'm still surviving. We're doing a podcast today still. Like, I still got time to do this, right? Yeah. So it's any human can do it. There's even pregnant women who have finished it, believe it or not.